Okay, so obviously this is a political channel, but sometimes there's a greater call to action, and in this case, it's a hard call to ignore. This Polish douchebag must be stopped. I'm actually livid at what I just saw the other day. Maybe you guys have seen it, maybe not, but there's a Polish individual who attended a professional tennis match, and one of the pro players came up to the stands to hand over his cap to a young fan in the audience, and this absolute monumental scumbag jumped in and grabbed the hat from the kid and then shoved it in his wife's bag and then pretended as if nothing happened. And well, obviously the video was bad enough, but then the internet ended up finding the guy and he responded, and now, well, after his despicable response and doubling down, we just gotta put this clown on blast. And so that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use my platform to try to make the universe right. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So a quick little rundown. We got this Polish CEO guy and his wife who very clearly stole the hat from the kid.
Crime was committed here at the Open yesterday. I believe it's known as a douchebaggery in the second degree.
Maybe first.
After his match, Kamil Myshek was trying to give his hat to that kid in the front row, and that guy stole it.
Terrible.
Folks, he pulled an Ed Reed and intercepted. He can't do that.
And his character was revealed for all of us to see, and it is not looking good. But isn't there a happy ending to this story?
I think did we find the kid? I think so.
So the wheels of justice on social media, as they so often do, are spinning. First of all, Myshek put out a post saying, hey, if you know this kid, let's get hold of him so I can get him another hat. And then the other side of it, Chanda, is that they have ID'd the dude who stole it. He's apparently some Polish executive, and he is getting absolutely obliterated on social media
As
today.
he should. And the kid, he can get the hat back, but can he get his innocence back? I mean, how do you recover after dealing with somebody doing that to you at a tennis tournament?
It's going to be some real parenting necessary to put Humpty Dumpty back together again after that.
Look, you don't want to end up on TV stealing stuff from a kid. You can get
absolutely disgusting behavior. I mean, obviously. It's one thing if there's a baseball flying through the air in the stands and it's up for grabs for everyone. You catch the ball, it's pretty much first come, first serve. We get that. But this is another situation entirely. That hat was clearly intended for the child. And this monumental loser, this overgrown, selfish baby who never got taught basic frickin' lessons from his parents, he snatched it from that child. I mean, incredible, selfish behavior. The type of stuff that you expect from a very small child who was never taught right or wrong. Total scumbag loser. There's no defending this. Kids love those pieces of sports memorabilia. I think for the most part, in almost all instances, the right thing to do is to give it to the kid. Even in the case where it's being thrown into the crowd and you catch it, if there's a young girl or a young kid that clearly never stood a chance at catching that object, if it was me personally, I'd give it to the kid 10 out of 10 times. I mean, we see this all the time. It's celebrated online as the right thing to do, as wholesome behavior.
Well, even in the midst of heated battle between a couple of storied franchises, this is a great moment. This Yankee fan tells a fellow Yankee fan, hey, it's that kid's 10th birthday. So they team up to get the kid over.
Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. So this is why baseball is the greatest sport in the game. Melendez throws it to this fan, so pumped. But he's like, you know what? No, I got to give the baseball to a kid. But then later in the game, Gooby, when Walsh hits the home run, the kid's dad's going to come up with the baseball. He's like, here you go. Now you got your ball back. You got two. He's like, you know what? No.
This is incredible.
Gives it back.
That is so amazing. Look at that.
He's like, no. She's like, that's so cute.
I think it's the right thing to do. And so imagine, in this instance, how totally unethical what he did was. I mean, we know it's undeniable. That hat was meant for that kid. Even the pro player who initially didn't catch what happened, he probably thought it maybe was the child's father who was taking it. Even he came to social media and stated that that hat was intended for the child. He ended up meeting with the child later on, took some photos, and gave him another hat. And so very obviously, this guy is a monumental douche canoe. And so rightfully, the internet went into a complete frenzy. And so I guess the manhunt began, and eventually the internet did what the internet does. They found him, and he was identified as a Polish millionaire CEO by the name of Piotr Cezarezek, otherwise known as Monumental Douchebag. And apparently he owns a company called Drogbruck, which is a concrete paving company. And so obviously in a case like this, where the internet has identified you, well, you could imagine what happened next. And then following the absolute shitstorm all over the internet, he was then forced to respond. Although, to be honest, maybe he shouldn't have, because, well, he just made things so much worse. The guy comes out and totally doubles down and hits us with yet again another douchebag moment. He writes, "The recent incident at the tennis match has caused a disproportionate online uproar." Now, I think it's pretty proportionate. It's all about the famous hat, of course. Yes, I took it. Yes, I did it quickly. But as I've always said, life is first come, first serve. I understand that some people might not like it, but please, let's not make a global scandal out of a hat. It's just a hat. It's not about the hat, you complete moron. If you were faster, okay, now the kid wasn't fast enough, right? You would have it. I don't think I've ever despised a human being as much as I do right now in this current moment. Regarding the online hate, I remind you that insulting a public figure is subject to legal liability. All offensive comments, slander, and insinuations will be analyzed for the possibility of taking the matter to court. In the end, chin up, hats off, less venom, more sportsmanship. Really, sportsmanship. So, yeah, obviously, I don't even have to explain it. You could tell that this guy is the biggest loser on planet Earth. But the crux of his statement is that, listen, it's a life lesson. First come, first serve. He's pretending as if he's taught the child the lesson. And sure, first come, first serve. There's some kind of wisdom in that statement. But that clearly doesn't apply here. The hat was for the kid and you stole it. You stole candy from a baby, you absolute. I'm not going to say it because I've already, reached my quota of colorful words in this video. But you guys pretty much get it, right? Man, I just absolutely cannot stand people like this. And outside of the clear lack of ethics, just the slimeball nature of this dude. Imagine being so materialistic that you engage in this kind of behavior. Not to mention the soy boy cuck behavior. Imagine being a 50-year-old dude who just can't control himself fanboying over another man's sweaty frickin' hat. That alone is just pathetic. To be so thirsty and engage in such unethical behavior in your pursuit of another man's baseball cap, especially considering, it's probably worth $50? It's not some special piece of sports memorabilia. We're not talking about Michael Jordan's game-worn shoes here. This guy's one of the biggest losers I've ever seen in my life. And the worst part of the situation is that it keeps getting worse. Just when you think this guy couldn't get any worse, he takes it up a notch and surprises you. Now he's taking it to a new level where he's starting to claim that he's going to sue anybody who defames him as a public figure. This is a petulant child who has never been told no in his life. You're going to sue people for defaming you. Nobody's defaming you, buddy. People could call you the worst thing on earth, and it wouldn't be defamation, it would be an accurate statement. And the idea that you're going to sue anybody for defamation as a public figure, as if you have special protection, complete moron. You could tell this guy knows absolutely nothing because guess what? There's no special protections for public figures, actually, quite to the contrary. It's the exact opposite. It's much harder to sue someone for defamation or slander when you are a public figure. Much harder to win those cases than being a private citizen. There's actually special legal stipulations around that. But here he is, doubling down, attempting to flex his power and wealth. He's some politically connected guy in Poland who apparently got these subsidies for his company. We get it, okay? You pour concrete and you made millions of dollars. And now you're attempting to use that power and influence to silence your detractors. But obviously, you're just a thin-skinned, feminine loser. And you know what? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, what's wrong with this guy, firstly? But secondly, where is your wife, man? How is she letting you write any of this crap? How are your lawyers or anybody who's helping you with PR allowing you to release these statements? This is why I say every man needs a good woman behind him, because if I ever engaged in even 1/10 of what this guy is doing, my wife would be so monumentally pissed with me. She would be so disappointed in me. But in this case, nothing. In fact, even in the video, you see she's all smiles behind. Ooh, my husband just stole from a unsuspecting child. Oh, he's such an alpha male. I guess scummy people tend to flock together, not exactly surprising. And then, of course, We get a key insight into that as his wife has also issued a statement. This is translated automatically from Polish, so it's not exactly perfect, but she responds, "You poor people." Now, that's obviously a double entendre. She's saying, "Oh, you poor people," but also, "You people are poor." Holy friggin' moly. But she continues to say, "You shouldn't really have access to the internet. You can't use this tool correctly. You can't use your brain correctly." Unfortunately, Polish mental poverty together with straw in shoes gives the result that we all see here. She's talking down to the plebeians, don't you see? If we take into account the circumstances of this pseudo-scarred, and don't know what that means, again, it's a poor translation, this kid simply got a pro bono life lesson. Let him be happy, greetings.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Yeah, again, I don't even really feel like I have to address why this is a horrible statement and these people continue to be horrible. I think it's plainly obvious for everybody to see. But anyways, the internet has done his thing and now these individuals are fafoing hard. His company is getting review bombed on Google into oblivion. Just take a look at this as they've now gone down to 2.2 stars. And you know what? Good. He calls this defamation, but clearly it isn't. People deserve to know who they would be working with if they were to engage with this company. If I personally was looking to start a contract with a concrete company, and then I learned that the CEO was a little roach like you, well, I'd never want to do business with you. I think it's very useful information. And frankly, I think it's just the consequences of your actions. I guess, here's a case where the cancel mob was right. It's, a rare moment of righteous cancel culture. Anyways, I think I pretty much hit all the points. This kind of behavior is a special pet peeve for me. I'm not kidding when I say that this situation really freaking pissed me off. And so I just had to open the mic and let loose a little bit. And there you go, that's what happened. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.